Hello, welcome to another edition of the TISA Report. Continue to follow up on our Bilderberg 2012 coverage. This next interview is with a gentleman from Oath Keepers, one of a number of groups that was there this year. It was great to see them there. This is just an awesome group. Oath Keepers was founded several years ago by a man named Stuart Rhodes, who was formerly with the Airborne, is a constitutional lawyer and a true patriot. And he founded this group to basically say, we're going to follow the Constitution. Now, everyone in police and military have already sworn an oath to the Constitution, but this organization provides a lot of education on the Constitution. They have a great news website, and it is a reaffirmation of that oath is what it is, for both active duty and retired military and police. And I know a year ago, I think the numbers were like over 5,000 plus, and the numbers are just swelling exponentially right now. Thousands and thousands of men and women are signing up saying, I'm reaffirming after the Constitution, and the establishment is really freaked out about this. If you want a takeover of the United States, you can't have people like this standing in the way. At the end of the day, if you want to drag America into a new world order, one world government, you've got to have the military working for you and on your side. And of all the people that are in society that are waking up right now the fastest, it's probably the people in the police and military. Now, there's still a lot of corruption there, but those people are waking up a lot faster than the general, dumbed-down Kool-Aid drinking public, that's watching Dancing with the Stars and thinks that's what's so important, or the Super Bowl or whatever. But these people are waking up at a really fast rate, and that is due largely in part to the efforts of Stuart Rhodes and his organization. And I really appreciate what they're doing. They're amazing people, and we had an opportunity to interview one of the folks from that organization at Bilderberg this year, so hope you enjoy it.
Mainstream media not being here is quite telling, because it means they're in cahoots with the same guys that are meeting at Chantilly Westfield Marriott. And there was an interview by independent reporter Luke Rudowski yesterday of Lawrence McDonald, and Lawrence McDonald, who's a major media head, knew nothing about Bilderberg. He thought it was all a joke. He's still spewing the mantra that Bilderberg doesn't exist. It's right in the face of reality. So I think it's pretty telling that mainstream media is not covering it. That tells us something. I'm here representing Oath Keepers. I'm an Oath Keeper from Virginia Beach, Virginia area. So with my fellow Oath Keepers are encouraging officers and policemen and emergency medical personnel, firefighters, to stand down from unconstitutional orders, so that they would, in a martial law scenario, that we'd have enough people in critical mass to stand down and to stand down from unconstitutional orders. In terms of the general public, I'll say individually, those who are running for office should continue to run for office. Those who are supporting Ron Paul, continue to support Ron Paul. I'm a presidential elector candidate and a candidate at large for Virginia. If I could plug Bob Marshall for Senate, this guy's a national hero. He individually headed up the anti-NDAA Section 1031 indefinite detention, so that Virginia is now free from that detained detention because of Bob Marshall, who's running for U.S. Senate. Unfortunately, our governor, Bob McDonald, reluctantly signed it with some caveats. And I just want to say that Bob McDonald also, if I could, he said drones are good this last week, and said they work good on the battlefield. That's in spite of the fact that most Americans would say they don't want to see a drone over their backyard. Right. So I think we should move forward with the campaign, do whatever we need to do to prepare for what we individually feel the future holds, work with those organizations that stand for truth, the Constitution, and I'd say go by lawfulness, not lawlessness. I think we really need to stick with the law and the Constitution.
That's a good point.
It's the First Amendment at work, whether you agree with the style or not. It's the First Amendment, and we applaud the First Amendment, and we think we're making a difference. And as Oath Keepers, we're observers more than protesters, but we totally support the First Amendment. Hey, Jim.
when the media is talking about something, it's usually something we don't need to pay attention to. Kardashians, celebrities, gossip, and scandals. So something like this that they're not covering 150 of the world's top power brokers and move shakers from government, politics, and other industries. I mean, that is a story. That is something that should be covered. And because the media is not here, it's definitely a reason why regular people should pay attention to this. The indie list is out, but what's being spoken on isn't. So after this meeting, after tomorrow when I leave, it's going to be about researching and getting leaks from the inside. What do they talk about? What was discussed? Who was here? And definitely researching the people that were here and how they're connected in their respective branches of the industry and what they're going to be doing, and paying attention over the next few months what those move makers from where they come from are, what directions they're moving in, and we can watch and track and follow where they're moving. If they're moving in the same direction, are they going in the same order? A lot of the corporations here are merging together, new contracts, Google, TomTom, PayPal, NSA, Facebook, and all these people are meeting here. So I think watching where they're going to go within the next year is key, and still exposing Bilderberg for the next year. So really, the rally stops, the protest starts tomorrow, but the activism and the action doesn't stop. It's something we need to keep pursuing and upping the ante so next year is even bigger.
Bilderberg is just one of 5 roundtable groups that really control a lot of the geopolitical decisions in the world. You have the Club of Rome, World Institute of International Affairs, the United Nations, the CFR, and Bilderberg. Bilderberg is like the top elitist group, and a lot of people don't know. So one of the main motivations for coming out here is to really get as many people out here as possible to raise awareness to who these guys are and what they actually do. Graham, the CEO of the Washington Post, he was on the attendee list for the Bilderberg meeting. And a lot of the reason for the big media blackout anyway is, Bilderberg, they still want to remain in the shadows somewhat, hence the fence here, hence the, the hired goons, or, Fairfax PD. They don't want people to know about what Bilderberg is and what they do, so there's still a degree of media suppression. However, I got interviewed by a reporter from the Washington Post yesterday, and she asked me a couple questions or whatnot, and I told her exactly what Bilderberg was, what they do, and how they're trying to push the internet ID on the UK. How Bilderberg, even in their own Washington Post newspaper, Bilderberg to pick Romney's running mate. She said, "What's wrong with that?" I said, "What do you mean what's wrong with that? These guys are unelected, unappointed people who are violating the Logan Act by consorting with our government and setting world policy. That's the facts." So, given that, what happened was last night, as I looked for the article online at 10 o'clock at night, turns out that she didn't even mention anything I said, and as a matter of fact, what she did mention is she pretty much made the protesters out to seem like unintelligible, mindless brutes who only have a limited 3 to 5 vocabulary, including words such as Bilderberg scum, scum, and things of that nature. So she really tried to discredit the movement here, and I was really upset about that because, talk about media blackout. They were here. I know Associated Press was here. I don't know how their articles came out. I still got to check those out. But the Washington Post definitely came out here to just get information from people and either twist the words or just discredit the whole movement altogether. So now I see that reporter was nothing more than just an undercover operative here to discredit this movement.
Right. Yeah.